Hey everyone, welcome back to my page. My name is Heather Taylor. I am a golden director here at Farmasi, and I'm going to show you 3 of my favorite products that do with your eyes. Okay, first up, the Glam Up Palette. This is my favorite eyeshadow palette that Farmasi has. I absolutely love this palette. It is a go-to for me. Such pretty colors. Absolutely love them. You get some mattes, you get some shimmers, a good little mix of everything. Our metallic brown eyeliner is my absolute favorite. If you have watched any of my other videos, follow me on Facebook and watch my lives. I use this bad boy all the time. Love it. And also our double lash extend mascara. You actually get 2 different brushes. You get volume, close that one up, open the other end, and you get length. So this is an amazing product if you are one of those people like me that have short straight lashes and you need a little help in both areas. Okay, so we're going to do a quick eye look, kind of a go-to everyday look that I absolutely love using these 3 items. So I'm going to grab a brush and we are going to hop right into it with this shade right here, which is called Dusty Rose. I'm going to place that kind of above my crease into my brow bone. I have a hooded eye, okay? So I lose a lot of color, but if you want to maintain the coloring and kind of keep the look that you're going for, all you have to do is shift your colors up just a little bit, okay? That way when you close your eye, you still get to see the shades, the shade variances, and keep that pretty eye. So there you go, you can still see the color. So basically you want to take your brush and kind of go right on your brow bone, just above it, and recreate your crease. Nobody has to know. Nobody has to know. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. I'm gonna go just a little bit above the crease, up at that brow bone. And just windshield wiper, buff in motions, little circles. I like to blend as I go instead of going back at the very end and having to blend everything at that point. So you'll kind of see me do circles, windshield wipers, the whole 9, okay? And I always do one and back and forth. That way I can keep up, make sure that everything is as uniform as it can be. I mean, they're gonna be sister eyes, okay? They're not gonna be matchy-matchy, but we want them to be close. Okay, so we have our Dusty Rose on. I'm gonna come in here with a little bit of a smaller brush. So I used a fluffier blending brush. We're gonna downsize our brush. And we're gonna come in here with Warm Teddy. This is like a pretty, it's a brown, but it almost has a hint of like a burgundy-ish tone to me. I love it. So we're gonna use this to kind of deepen our crease and catch our outer corner. So I'm gonna tap it in to this outer corner here. And I start with a little, y'all, and add more as I go. I don't want to go all ham when I first start and just dig into it. That way I maintain control of where I want that color. Now I'm going to take the brush. I'm not going to dip back into that shade, and I'm going to drag it through my crease. And I'm just going to deepen that crease a little bit. All right, I'm gonna do the same thing over here. So we're gonna pop it in our corner by a tapping motion. Kind of get it where we want it, and then we will blend it. Okay, and then I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna drag. Okay. And I'm going to do the same thing with this color. I'm going to bring it just a fraction higher. Because we're recreating our crease. Nobody has to know. Okay, but it's the secret to a hooded eye. If you do not have a hooded eye, then you do not need to do this. Okay, I'm gonna take that brush that I had before with the Dusty Rose on it. I'm not dipping it back into any colors. Everything's trying to roll away. I'm gonna use that to kind of blend and soften up all those edges. Okay, I'm gonna grab a flat brush, a stiffer flat brush. I'm gonna spray it with our Time Locker setting spray. I'm gonna use this to pick up my shimmer. So we're gonna use Nefertiti right here. When you wet your brush with any sort of color, whether it be a matte or a shimmer, it's going to deepen that color, make it stand out more. In this case with the shimmers, it's going to make those shimmers pop even more. So you can absolutely go in with a dry brush if you want and get a softer look, or we can be glitzy glammy and take all the shimmer that we can get. So I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to press it, okay? When you work with a shimmer or a glitter, you don't want a windshield wiper motion. You don't want a real big buffy motion. You want to place it and tap it, okay? So I'm going to place it where I want it and tap it in. And then you just work to building it up to how, do you want an extra shimmer? Do you want a little shimmer? And you just tap it. I'm not eating a piece of hair, it's tickling. And you just tap that color in. I love this brush because it's rounded, so it fits perfectly to follow right along with my crease. Okay, then I'm gonna take it and I'm just gonna kind of feather this line. I'm just kind of pulling it into the brown. All I'm doing is kind of softening up that line so that the two colors melt into each other instead of it being this defined line. Okay, we'll do the same thing on the other side. Take your brush, take your setting spray. You can use water, whatever. You can use rose water. Spritz it. We're gonna dip back into that Nefertiti. And same thing over here. I'm just gonna press it into place. You can absolutely cut this out with concealer if you want and clean that area out. Personally, concealer can crease on you, so just be careful with concealer. And I still get just as pretty of a look if I don't cut it. Okay, so I'm gonna do the same thing and kind of feather it back. This is always my prettier eye because I can't see when I close this one. Like I'm blind as a bat right now. So if I can do that, blind as a bat, y'all can do it. No excuses here. No excuses, ladies. I'm gonna take it and dip my brush back and kind of catch the corner. And then I'm gonna take the brush that I used for the outer corner, and I'm gonna bring that outer corner color under to my lash line about 3/4 of the way, just to the other side of my pupil. I'm not gonna connect it to the absolute front of my eye, okay? So don't go all the way to the corner. It's about just, eat my hair, just to the other side of your pupil. And if you need to play with it a little bit to kind of get it back how you want it, make sure everything's perfect. And then you can come back I always tend to do this. I will come back with that first color, that Dusty Rose, and go over this top. All right, now we're going to use our eyeliner after we take this blending brush. I personally do not like a sharp line. You can take your whatever you used for your foundation and you can kind of line up this if you want. So I can press this in and kind of line it. I like to take a blending brush and kind of buff that back out. I like a more blended look. It just depends on what you want. Play with the makeup, guys. Just play with it. Just have fun with it. Explore. See what works for you, what works for your eye shape. Just have fun. Absolutely, just have fun with it. Now, this extra lash pencil is one of my favorites because it rolls up and down. I don't have to sharpen it. I don't have to think about it, okay? So I take it, we're gonna go on our bottom lash line. Here. Gonna go here. And I don't bring it all the way to the complete inner corner. I stop. Now, up here, if you are amazing enough to sit here and do this, you are boss, okay? If not, or if you have an eye that has a little more of loose skin to it, you've lost some elasticity, take your ring finger and kind of pull your eye out, and then you can use that to go against your lash line, okay? And now for the finisher, our double lash extend mascara. So you can do this however you want. I do volume and then length. Whatever you do, you need to end in length. So if you want to do length, volume, length, or volume, length, length, whatever. But always end in the length to help feather all those lashes out, okay? So we're going to start with volume. And I always do my bottoms first, because I find if I do that, then I don't, you know, everybody does it. We bump our lashes up top and end up with those little black lines of mascara, and it just ruins all our hard work. And we don't want that, okay? So we're gonna add volume down here. And then I'm gonna put that back in here, tighten her back up, grab the top, and pull out my length. And then I'm gonna run length through. I'm gonna shimmy and shake it through. Shimmy, shake it, okay? Like, I love the length that I get out of this, especially because my lashes suck. Like, they're pretty blonde. Like, look, you can barely see that I have top lashes right now. Like, barely there. So, same thing. Volume. Make weird faces. All that jazz. How many of you can actually talk and hold a conversation while you're doing your mascara? That takes practice. Okay, length. Come back in. I like how the brush is tapered so I can get into these little lashes. We're gonna shimmy and shake her. Shimmy shaker. I mean, just our bottoms. But I ain't saying what I'm saying. All right, let's do our tops. So volume. We're gonna start at our base. Don't just catch your tips, y'all. Go to the base, wiggle the wand, and let it kind of seat your lashes in, and then run it up through them, okay? So basically, you're putting your lashes in the brush, shimmying the brush back and forth so it holds onto your lashes, and then pulling your lashes through the brush. That way we make sure we are completely coated from the base to the tip. Don't go back in with more. Flip your brush over. If you can do a roll-in motion with your brush, do that. If not, just flip the brush over. Don't just go back in and add more product, okay? We can do that if that's not enough. What will happen if you just keep dipping the brush, dipping the brush, dipping the brush, is that you're going to end up with those spidery, gunky leg lashes, okay? This is volume. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to run it base to tip. If you hear my kids in the background, just roll with it. I am a mom. You just take your volume and just work with them. Flip your brush over. I will tell you, I probably spend more time with my mascara than anything else. But if you want those gorgeous lashes that you see in all those advertisements, okay, y'all, they didn't throw that mascara on in 2 seconds. Take the time, okay? So you can absolutely leave